Numbers 14 1-45, through the Bible. Chapter 14. Theme: Israel's refusal to enter the land. Moses pleads for Israel. God's judgment. Israel defeated by Amalekites and Canaanites. Israel has now come to the place of decision. They must decide whether they are going to enter the land or not. We find Israel refusing to enter. The reason is their unbelief. The Bible is its own best commentary, and it is the writer to the Hebrews who puts it just that way. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness? And to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not? So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. Hebrews 3:17-19. It was unbelief that kept them from going into the land. Israel's refusal to enter the land. And all the congregation lifted up their voice, and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would God, that we had died in the land of Egypt! Or would God we had died in this wilderness! Numbers 14 1-2. I am of the opinion that poor Moses and Aaron at this time were wishing they had died in the wilderness so they would be rid of their continual complaining. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? Numbers 14:3. They are in such a bad frame of mind that they say, Our wives and children will be a prey. They are using their children as an excuse, pretending they are thinking of the safety of their children, but actually, it is a reflection on God. They are saying that God did not care what happened to their children. Do you know who it was that entered the land? It was these children, that next generation. The old folks sat there and cried and said they were thinking of the safety of the children. The fact of the matter is that God was thinking of the safety of the children, and he brought them into the land. And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel, and Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, and they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land, which we passed through to search it, is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us, their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us, fear them not. Numbers 14:4-9. These two men, Caleb and Joshua, brought the same facts as the others. What is the difference in their report? The difference is in their interpretation of the facts, because they included God. When you see yourself as a grasshopper in the presence of giants, that is when you need God. These people certainly needed God. Caleb and Joshua insisted that if God would delight in them, he would bring them into the land. But how can God delight in them unless they believe God? They must trust him. They are bread for us, in our idiom, would be like saying, Those people in the land will be duck soup for us. How can they be so confident? They have faith in God. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. Numbers 14:10. Have you noticed that every time there is a rebellion, or murmuring, or complaining, the glory of the Lord appears? God is highly displeased with this rebellion against him. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me, for all the signs which I have showed among them? I will smite them with the pestilence, and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. Numbers 14:11-12. God is saying, I'll destroy them and make a nation from you to fulfill my promises. Moses pleads for Israel. And Moses said unto the Lord, Then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou Lord art among this people, and thou Lord art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them, by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, Because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness. And now, I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, The Lord is longsuffering, and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people, from Egypt even until now. Numbers 14:13-19. Moses reminds God that the rumor will go around, that although he was able to bring them out of Egypt, he was not able to put them into the land, to complete that which he had begun. God agrees to go ahead with them and put Israel into the land. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word, Numbers 14:20. And then the Lord gives this prophecy. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, Numbers 14:21. As God brought these children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, and did put them in the promised land, so God will complete the plan he had for you, when he saved you. He will complete the plan he is working on now, for the entire earth, because the time is coming when the whole earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. God's judgment. Because all those men which have seen my glory, and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it, but my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Numbers 14:22-24. Judgment falls on the children of Israel. The generation that murmured will not enter the promised land. Joshua and Caleb are the only ones whom God singles out from the people. God promises that they shall enter the land, and God made good that promise. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me, doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness. Numbers 14:29-32. Their children, that they implied God did not care about, would be brought safely into the land they had despised. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which ye search the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. I the Lord have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation, that are gathered together against me, in this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. Numbers 14:33-35. God tells them that they will wander in the wilderness for 40 years, 1 year for each day the spies were in the land. And the men, which Moses sent to search the land, who returned, and made all the congregation to murmur against him, by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land, died by the plague before the Lord. Numbers 14:36-37. The 10 spies who brought the evil report and led in the rebellion died of a plague. Israel defeated by Amalekites and Canaanites. And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. Numbers 14:39. They had turned from the land, but as they faced the wilderness, they were actually more afraid of the wilderness than they had been afraid of entering the land. And they rose up early in the morning, and gat them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and will go up unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord? But it shall not prosper. Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. Numbers 14:40-42. They had lost their opportunity. They would not go up into the land when God wanted them to go. Now they presume to go up. This is presumption. Faith is not presumption. They again want to go their way, rather than God's way. There can be no victory when there is no submission to the will of God. But they presume to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and Moses, departed not out of the camp. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwelt in that hill, and smote them, and discomfited them, even unto Hormah. Numbers 14:44-45.